It always takes so long for YouTube to actually go live, on this platform. But we are live now. Good evening, good day, good morning, depending on where you're located in the world. Today we're going to take a look at the trailers and TV spots that were dropped during the Super Bowl. We're not allowed to say that. Oh no, getting sued. We'll see if we can actually watch those trailers. I haven't seen any of them. We won't be watching the ads unless like there's something that someone tells me I really need to see this. I've seen glimpses of some of them. It's just celebrities doing lines. Not those type of lines, just the boring ones with words. And that's that. There's not much more interesting stuff there, but we have a ton to get into with the headlines, with the news coming out of the EFM, the European film market. There's a ton of projects that I'll present to you. And now, if you check link below ahead of the time, there's also a companion list that I made for the new projects that were announced. I will round it out with, I guess, the trailers and everything else that we mentioned. You can also find every single news story linked below there in a spreadsheet that hopefully you can't fuck with, but it should be linked below if you're interested and want to read those for yourself. We mainly sourced them through Deadline, was mainly all of it this week, and big thanks to Kevin. He always assembles them. And this week there was just so many projects that ultimately I'm going to read you a bunch of synopses, which is essentially what's going to happen today. Yeah, all right, let's get into it. Let's keep it neat and tight. And I actually like this Bellatra music, but I don't know if it's the vibe. Oh, the news music always stresses me out. Like, should I keep playing? Like, should I just let the Bellatra play? The Bellatra music play, or do we want to like do we want like this? I don't know. I don't know if this is too intense, especially with like reading synopses and everything. I don't know. Let me know. I have no clue. What do you guys prefer? I got 3 different ones. This is a shocking one. This is like breaking news. But it's like, I don't know, for movie news, it always feels like too intense unless I talk about, like, I don't know, breaking drama about, I don't know, whatever won the Oscar, or, I don't know, I talk about Carla Sofia Gaston some more, which I didn't include all of that, because we covered that last week. But I think I'll stick with the new stuff for now, and let's go. Let's get into it. All right. Whew. First up, we did get some new trailers and TV spots for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. We also got ones for Jurassic World Rebirth, ones for Thunderbolts, and then we also got F1, Novocaine, How to Train Your Dragon, Smurfs, and Lilo and Stitch. We'll be taking a look at those in a bit. Then, The Fantastic Four: The First Steps clears 202 million views in 24 hours, which is a new best for a Marvel film that is not a sequel. Then the Smurfs movie, which stars Rihanna as Smurfette, is going to be a musical releasing on July 18th, and just got a new trailer that we'll take a look at in a bit as well. And that's pretty much it for the news. There weren't a ton. Now there's a bunch of awards that happened. The PGA, the Producers Guild Awards, were handed out, with Anora winning producer for Best Film, Shogun winning for Best Episodic Television, Baby Reindeer for Anthology or Limited Series, The Greatest Night in Pop for TV movie, Steve Martin for non-fiction television, and The Wild Robot for animation. Super Slash Man wins for Best Documentary, and Hacks for Best Episodic Comedy Series. Then we also had the DGA, where again, Anora wins the top prize. Sean Baker wins for theatrical feature film. Ramel Ross wins for first time feature film. Porcelain War wins for documentary. Shogun for dramatic series, and Hacks for comedy. And Ripley wins the TV movie or limited series award. And Anora wins 2 awards, I guess, in one night, both at the DGA and the PGA. And it is seemingly now the frontrunner for Best Picture, even though at the Producers Guild, it ended up only picking up 1 award. And wait, also at the Critics Award, it only picked up the one prize. But we'll get to that actually after the Annies, because, well, it was a bit of a sweep as well at the Annies with The Wild Robot winning in Best Feature, Direction, Voice Acting, Editorial, FX, Character Animation Design, Music Production Design, and Flow only gets Best Independent Feature and Writing. I guess Arcane Season 2 goes 7 for 7 in all of its categories in the TV category, and wins for Direction, Storyboarding, Editorial, Effects, Character Animation, Music, and Production Design. Neva, which is from the developers of Gris, ended up winning Best Character Animation in a Game, and then Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes wins Character Animation for a live-action movie. Then the aforementioned Critics' Choice winners were also announced. Anora takes home Best Picture, but nothing else, which is a bit odd. Conclave gets Best Ensemble and Adapted Screenplay. Emilia Perez gets Best Song for El Mal, Best Foreign Language Film, and Supporting Actress for Zoe Saldana. It has to be noted that voting ended a while before Carla Sofia Gascon's tweets resurfaced. Nosferatu takes Best Cinematography. Maisie Stella, Best Young Actress for My Old Ass, and Challenges gets Editing and Score without a single Oscar nomination, I guess, but hey, we will take what we can get. Culkin continues to sweep for A Real Pain and gets Best, and also A Real Pain gets Best. Let me redo that. Culkin continues to sweep, and A Real Pain also gets Best Comedy, and it is tied with Deadpool and Wolverine. The Substance wins Original Screenplay, and Demi Moore gets Lead Actress, but it also wins for Best Hair and Makeup. Wicked gets Production Design and Costume Design, and Director? Yes, it gets Director. Weird, but meanwhile, Dune 2 only gets Visual Effects. The Brutalist picks up a single win for Adrian Brody, and The Wild Robot wins for Best Animated Feature. All right. With all of the awards out of the way, let's talk about some general film news stories. First up, this is a funny one. Denzel Washington bit his tongue almost half off a few months ago, which made the rehearsals for Othello a bit more difficult. Washington will act opposite Jake Gyllenhaal and as he returns to Broadway on February 24th. Then Will Forte is still amped up about Warner Bros. Shelving Coyote versus Acme, and says it's fucking bullshit that it makes his blood boil. They recently held a funeral screening for the film with the cast and crew, and again, the film wasn't scrapped because it wasn't good. It was for a $30 million tax write-off. So fuck you, Warner Bros. Speaking of scrapped projects, Michelle Gondry and Pharrell Williams scrapped the biopic Golden, which was supposed to tell the story of Pharrell Williams' childhood. It just didn't come together in post-production. Then the UK Actor Union threatens court action for Disney, BBC, and more if the members' rights on AI are breached. Then we have so many new projects that are being announced with the EFM, the European Film Market, ramping up alongside the Berlinale, the Berlin Film Festival this week. A ton of productions are getting shopped around and hopefully picked up. At least the good ones. We hope that they get picked up. And the first of them is Natalie Portman, who is going... Well, she's not the project, but she is starring in Lena Dunham's rom-com Good Sex. The synopsis reads, after spending a decade in a failed relationship, successful couple therapist Allie, played by Portman, is turning 40 and is pushed kicking and screaming by her best friend back into the hopeless New York dating scene. But Allie finds her life pulled in opposing directions as she falls into a steamy fling with a 20-something Brooklyn hipster just as she begins a promising, more conventional relationship with Alan, a successful 50-something in Manhattan. As romantic crossroads blossom into a full-blown identity crisis, Allie juggles to keep these two different men separate and to make sense of her own conflicting desires before she risks losing them both. That's Good Sex. Again, you can find all of the movies I mentioned on the companion list on Letterboxd, at least the ones that are already available on Letterboxd. Then we got Bill Skarsgård, Murray Bartlett, and Noah Jupe, who joined Michael Sarnowski's The Death of Robin Hood. He's the director behind Pig and A Quiet Place Day One. The film is distributed by A24 and also stars Hugh Jackman and Jodie Comer. The story follows a battle-worn loner grappling with the past, with his past after a life of crime and murder, who finds himself gravely injured in the hands of a mysterious woman who offers him a chance at salvation. Then we got Owen Wilson and Ellen Richardson, who will star in Scott Wong's Runner. Runner follows Hank Malone, played by Richardson, a high-end courier who has 3 hours to transport an organ to save a 7-year-old girl in need of an immediate transplant. The seemingly simple mission turns deadly when the leader of a notorious crime syndicate becomes hellbent on claiming the organ. I'll eat up anything that involves Richardson and action. Then this is an odd one. Madeline Klein will star opposite Johnny Depp in Lionsgate. Day Drinker. I truly respect Lionsgate dedication to produce flops. It also stars Penelope Cruz, and in Day Drinker, a cruise ship bartender meets a mysterious day drinker, only for both of them to find themselves entangled in a criminal underbelly and connected in unexpected ways. All right, next up we got Youngblood. This is a hockey movie, and as a hockey guy, I actually wait, no, never mind. I got it on my head right now. New Jersey's fan. I haven't seen this one. I actually haven't heard of this one, which, looking at the Letterboxd curve for it, it doesn't seem too great, but I guess I'll check it out because there was a movie made back in 1986 that also starred where are they here, Patrick Swayze, Rob Lowe, and Keanu Reeves. And there's a remake in the works for this one. I'll definitely check it out. Hopefully it's good, but I'll have to watch the original as well. Then Baby Reindeer star Jessica Gunning joins Steven Soderbergh's The Christophers, which also stars Ian McKellen, James Corden, and Michaela Cole. Then, a Magic the Gathering film and TV universe is in the works at Legendary and Hasbro Entertainment. The first project will be a live-action film. Then, TV series and other content are supposed to be developed as the universe expands. Matthew McConaughey is joining Paul Greengrass's The Rage, with Jason Blum producing. The film is set to take place during the Peasants' Revolt, a major uprising that took place across large parts of England in 1381 in response to socio-economic and political tensions and high taxation. Sounds kind of familiar. McConaughey will play a farmer who becomes the leader of the revolt, supposedly. I don't think that's confirmed yet. But then Netflix is in talks to acquire The Perfect Neighbor, a documentary that I got to see at the Sundance Film Festival this year. The film follows a minor disagreement between neighbors in Florida, which takes a lethal turn when police body camera footage and interviews probing the aftermath of the state's controversial stand your ground laws are the subject of this documentary that is harrowing. It's similar to Daughters last year, not in the subject matter, but hopefully also in the impact that it will have coming onto Netflix. That movie was snubbed for an Oscar, in my opinion, for an Oscar nomination, but have it on your radar. It's one of this year's, by the end of the year, likely also best documentaries. Then, Kiernan Shipka and McKenna Grace are both starring in the thriller The Nowhere Game. The film follows Karen, played by Grace, and Ali, who's played by Shipka, whose road trip takes a harrowing turn when the two young women are kidnapped by a cold-blooded sadist and thrust into a brutal game of survival. With a short head start, Karen and Ali will be set loose in the forest with limited supplies while being hunted in front of an online audience watching in grim fascination. With no sign of civilization and no way to call for help, the women rely on their wits and each other to evade capture. Navigating the hostile wilderness, they discover eerie clues left behind by previous contestants, painting a grim picture of the stakes they face. As the hunter closes in, realization dawns on them. Surviving isn't just improbable, it's nearly impossible. It's just way too long of a synopsis here that I copied, but hey, if you feel like these two are the same person, I don't fault you. And speaking of two people who could pass as sisters, well, here's the Mara sisters, Kate and Rooney, who star as fictional sisters in Werner Herzog's next film. The film is based on a true story of inseparable twin sisters, Joan and Jean, who live on the fringes of society. It's also the first film time that these two have actually worked together on a movie, and the film is currently listed as Fucking Bastard on Letterboxd. I don't know if that title is going to stand, but then a Bakugan live-action movie is in the works from San Andreas and Atlas director Brad Payton. Yeah, that doesn't look too promising, if I'm honest. And Joe Wright is directing an AI thriller called Alignment. The story follows a cutting-edge tech company whose latest AI model begins manipulating global markets and stoking international conflict. A principled board member and an out-of-his-depth software engineer must race to convince their profit-obsessed colleagues to shut down their creation before it triggers a globally catastrophic event. Pretty intrigued by this one. Lucas Hedges and Daniel Radcliffe join a Vietnam thriller, Trust the Man, for Neon. Daisy Jones and the Six director Will Graham is set to direct based on his own script that he wrote. The thriller follows an ambitious army intelligence officer during the Vietnam War assigned to investigate a decorated soldier with a mysterious past. As surveillance interrogation deepen, the line between loyalty and obsession blurs, leading both men into a dangerous and uncontrollable connection. This one also sounds quite intriguing. Then Sony Pictures Classic acquires Haifa Al-Mansour's Unidentified. The film is described as a contemporary Saudi language thriller and is currently in post-production. In Identified, the drama is sparked by the discovery of the lifeless body of a teenage girl in the desert. When no one claims the body, Noel Al-Safan, a newly divorced truth crime aficionado who recently lost a child of her own, gets obsessively involved. This looks quite intriguing as well. Then, Ben Affleck is directing and starring in a kidnap thriller called Animals for Netflix. Gillian Anderson is also in the cast. No plot details have been revealed yet so far. Then Henry Winkler, Brian Cox, Emma Roberts, and Evan Rachel Wood are set to star in a comedy called Old Pals for Neon, based on a screenplay by Rick Cesario. The fun-spending film follows comical opposites and recent widowers, played by Winkler and Brian Cox, who are forced to become friends by the conspiring daughters, played by Roberts and Wood. The initial stubbornness gives way to a journey of unexpected friendship, proving that family has a way of bringing even the most unlikely people together. I mean, those two are kind of perfect for those roles. I'm looking forward to that. Then, Kyu Kwan and Lily Reinhardt are set to star in a new breed of horror film called Bad Boy from the producers of Longlegs and Megan. Bad Boy, a new breed of genre film that charts a young woman's fight to escape a deadly serial killer through the eyes of man's best friend, his faithful dog. There have been plenty of kids' films and some dramas told from an animal's perspective, but not many by horror films, the producers say. I mean, what they claim here, at least it's unique. I don't know if it's good, but we'll have to wait and see. Then Robert De Niro is set to star in a crime thriller called The Whisper Man for Netflix. Joe and Anthony Russo are producing the adaptation of Alex North's novel of the same name. The Whisper Man revolves around a widow crime writer who, after his 8-year-old son is abducted, looks to his estranged father, a retired former police detective, for help, only to discover a connection with a decades-old case of a convicted serial killer known as the Whisper Man. John Malkovich and Mark Ruffalo join Sam Rockwell in Martin McDonagh's Wild Horse 9 at Searchlight. The logline is still kept under lock and key, but filming begins this March in Rapa Nui, the indigenous name for Easter Island, an island 3.5 kilometers, or what was it, 37 kilometers off the Chilean coast. I mean, we know nothing about this. As soon as Martin McDonagh is involved, I'm very interested. Then Marissa Tomei and Virginia Gardner are set to lead a rom-com called Fuck Valentine's Day. The film follows Gina, played by Gardner, born on the most celebrated day of love, Valentine's Day, which she detests immensely. She's determined to stop her boyfriend from popping the question on a birthday getaway in Greece, home of her vivacious mother Tomei, enlisting fellow vacationers, the handsome Johnny Giovanozzi and his brassy sister Mickey. Gina hopes to delay the proposal, leading Gina to discover that she just might be with the wrong guy. It doesn't sound too intriguing to me, if I'm being honest. Samuel L. Jackson is done playing Uncle Sam in the halftime show of the Super Bowl and will star in a hitman thriller alongside David Deeks, with Juice director Ernest Dickinson at the helm. Story is about, well, the synopsis read: when his nephew Leslie, played by Deeks, is implicated in the theft of the mob's earnings, Morris gets a call from his old boss that forces him off the golf course and back into action to negotiate his one last job. He's got the weekend to help the kid recover the stolen money or put a bullet in him. Complicating things is the fact that Leslie has a baby on the way. Oh no, the drama. Ethan Hawke is developing The Gunfighter, The Gunfighter's remake at 20th Century. He's on the board to pen the reimagining of the 1950 Western. I know Kevin already has this on his watch list. I'll definitely be on the lookout. Ethan Hawke is a favorite actor and filmmaker and also writer of mine, mainly for his work on the Before trilogy, but I'll be on the lookout for this. And then A24, well, this is The Gunfighter, by the way, by Henry King. And then A24 picks up Molly Gordon's comedy Peaked. It's about two girls who traumatized in high school and try to relive their glory days at their 10-year reunion. Miles Teller and Casey Affleck are set to star in a manhunt thriller called Wild Game. It's an adaptation of Frank Bergen's novel of the same name that is based on true events. The synopsis reads: when Fish and Game Officer Jack Igagari joins a routine poacher arrest on the Black Rock Desert, a deadly encounter with renegade Claude Dallas shatters his reality and propels him into a relentless quest for vengeance, one that blurs the line between justice and obsession. And that's it for all of the, I guess, wait, let me stop it here. That's it for all of the news headlines. And there were, I'm sorry, so many new projects. Halfway through I realized just how much it was, but there's a ton for you to put onto your watch list, because I truly think there's some interesting projects in there that hopefully are getting picked up and distributed later in the year. It's the ones that fly through the cracks when you do the most anticipated of the year, like the stuff that is small enough but then turns up being like the best of the year that we have yet to kind of uncover. But you can see here, it's Captain America. I think something new that I'm doing here on the news live streams is kind of, maybe we are like putting away the new releases section of the podcast, so I can kind of have a bit of an interaction with everyone watching right now and later on, to give you an overview of what's coming out this week and the big release of the week. And for that, we are listening to Balatro. The big release of the week, of course, is Captain America Brave New World. I don't know how many people are actually interested in this, but it is coming out this week. And then after it already premiered in the UK, Paddington in Peru is releasing worldwide. I was kind of in the middle with this one. I didn't love it as much as I loved the first two, which I gave, well, I guess, okay, never mind. Don't talk to me about Paddington, I guess. Then we also got Armand, which is a, I believe, Norwegian film. Yes, starring Renate Reinsve. That's pretty decent. That's out in wide release in the States. And then lastly, a documentary about Led Zeppelin is out in release. And then out in limited release, we are getting the Oscar shorts for animation, for documentary, and for live action. So if you're interested, I can very much recommend The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. An interview with the director should actually release soonish. I recorded this a while ago, but my bad, I never actually ended up publishing it. Very shameful. Shameful thing to do. Then Neza 2, probably butchering that, has had a crazy opening in China, making over $1 billion at the local box office there, and is now being released in limited release in the States and in some places internationally. Then we also got Universal Language that is out in limited release in the States, and a re-release of the first 4 Harry Potter films. Then out on VOD this week over on Netflix on February 10th, we are getting The Witcher: Sirens of the Deep. From what I can read over here, it is a 90-minute movie. I thought this was a series, but no, I guess it's a movie. Then Better Man is out on premium VOD. Hard Truths from Mike Lee is out on VOD. Omni Loop starring Ayo Edebiri is out on Hulu. And then pretty of a surprising early January hit in the States that kind of came out of nowhere. One of them days hits premium VOD on the 10th or 12th. I forgot. Then Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy, the 4th entry in the series, is streaming over on Peacock just in time for Valentine's Day on February 13th, as well as I feel like the better Valentine's Day pick, which is Broken Rage. We'll cover this one on next week's podcast, but just go by my rating. I got to see this in Venice. It's great. It's going to be streaming on Prime, so no reason for you to miss out. It's also just 62 minutes long, man. There's no excuse. There's literally, I feel like, episodes of Severance that are longer than this. Then there's a reason for you to skip this weirdly photoshopped thing that, hey, it's releasing on Netflix. That's why we're covering it. But probably gonna be a skip it from me. Then Sly Lives, aka The Burden of Black Genius, is out on Hulu. And then on February 14th, we are getting Flight Risk over on premium VOD. Not worth your time. Very much worth your time is Flow over on Max. And then, as Kevin, no, actually Kevin has seen it, but he can't talk about it yet. But Lachlan calls it George. The George. I haven't seen it yet. We got some screeners. We'll be covering this as it comes out. But this one's streaming over on Apple TV Plus. And then Inheritance, which there's like 15 movies called Inheritance, but this is the one with Phoebe Denver. This is the one. It's out on VOD if you're interested. But then also Longlegs is streaming over on Hulu. We got the premiere of season 3 of Yellow Jackets over on Showtime. And then finally for this week on VOD, we got White Lotus season 3 premieres on February 16th. Then, because we do have an Australian man on our podcast, I'm going to quickly shout out some of the releases in Australia, which include Captain America Brave New World, also Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy. If you really want to see it in theaters, you get the chance to do that. Hard Eyes releases a week later. I just got some screeners as well, so I will be covering that on next week's show too. They also get the Chinese animated sequel Neza 2. I shouldn't have gone for a second try. And then Spider-Man Far From Home also releases amongst, they had like since the start of the year, they basically went through the whole like saga of Spider-Man movies. Then out in my home country, Switzerland, we also getting Bridget Jones' Mad About the Boy, Captain America Brave New World, which will also be the double feature bill with Broken Rage, what we'll be covering on next week's show. Then the Zurich Film Festival dramatic section winner on Becoming a Guinea Fowl that got the Golden Eye at the Zurich Film Festival is coming out here. And then we also get the release of Queer. Now, if you're interested and you're located in Switzerland, actually, there is an event that's going to be happening on the 16th. Don't be scared if you're not speaking German. This is not for you, I guess, but it's happening in Zurich. If you're interested, here's all the info. You can just Google Movie Fight Club and then Riff Raff or Queer, and it should appear. We also should have it linked below. I will be debating on the side of the pro side of Queer, and after the movie, we'll have about like 20-25 minutes to discuss the film. We already reviewed it and covered it on our show, but just for those who are interested in that. And that's it for the headlines, man. Oh my God, this was a heavy one. Now we can kind of lean back. Let me know what you want me to talk about before we take a look at the just the trailers that came out of the Super Bowl, which it's always kind of the case that this Super Bowl doesn't really have like, I don't know, a ton going on when it comes to like actually new stuff. Like there's not a ton that is like actually premiered there. It's often just like, hey, here's a short little 30-second thing, and we also premiering a new full-on trailer. Or this year, I think there was even less, because with online accessibility, people can just kind of, you know, you can have the 202 million for Fantastic Four, the first steps. You don't need a Super Bowl. I'm sweating. That was intense with the fucking headlines for so long. How long did the headlines thing go on for? We've been live for almost 30 minutes. Yeah, I know I was yapping. I yap on the podcast, but damn, that was a yap session. There's also one other storyline that might be interesting that I didn't include because you can't really fit it into into the form of like headlines, but the whole like debacle around like the Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni, it ends with us, that whole feud. If you're interested, there's also this is also linked below. In like, you have access to this as well if you're interested. There's literally everything. Like, this is the thing that Kevin gives me with all of the links for the different stuff, and I just kind of assemble it together. You can also read like basically my notes of what I'm reading off from, but at the bottom here too, you should find below all of this the like full timeline here during discussion, because we're currently in the discussion section of this live stream. So if you're interested, you can read up on this. I think I didn't have the time for it. I initially was thinking, hey, let's read this together, but I'll just like quickly scroll through it. It is long. It is long. There's so much, man. There's so much. Why are you feuding so much? Why you gotta hate so much, man? So that's a bit too much for me. So I think what we'll do is we'll take a look at these trailers, and then maybe we'll discuss something a bit further. I think the thing with the awards is also pretty straightforward. Emilia Perez is seemingly out, gives way to I'm Still Here, maybe like sneaking up and taking that international Oscar, which would be fun. I think the race for Best Actress is kind of open now that Demi Moore is picking up more awards. The SAG Awards are yet to come, and the voting for the Oscars actually closes tomorrow. So I guess I didn't include this yet, which I could have in headlines, but we'll also be doing like tournament again, where like you viewers can participate as well in predicting what wins. Person with the best prediction set will get a year of Letterboxd free, if you want to, or you can, I guess, choose a movie for all four of us to watch and review. That's kind of the perks that you're getting, and we'll also play like an in-house thing where one of us has to pick one. So that's always fun. We'll be reacting to the Oscars as well, and yeah, I mean, Fernanda Torres is also not like unlikely to maybe get that Best Actress, lead actress win, because like Mikey Madison hasn't picked up a ton of awards. Demi Moore is picking up steam. I feel like these three are kind of head to head. And then on the rest of it, it's like between Adrien Brody and Timothée Chalamet, and I don't know, the rest of the categories might have opened up because not all of the Oscar voters did their voting stuff before all of this like debacle with Emilia Perez happened. So like, we'll have to wait and see. But let's have a look at some of these trailers. Again, it's only short ones. The longest one, I guess, here is Thunderbolts, which is like a full-on new trailer. But let's have a look at, I'm really excited for this one, Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
It's been a long time, Ethan.
Your mission, should you choose to accept. Everything you were. Everything.
Not a crazy stunt here with the red plane. I've already seen like parts of this. I haven't watched any of these trailers yet.
I need you to trust me.
I think the first trailer was on point. The shooting again in like the like more IMAX format. Okay, it was filmed for IMAX. It wasn't filmed in IMAX. It was filmed for IMAX, right? Is that what it said there? So they're not actually using IMAX cameras for that part up there. When does it appear? I thought it said there, filmed for IMAX. Yeah, there we go. I mean, that looks pretty sick. There's some, again, sick stunts in it that I'll definitely like try and do. There's a lot of planes in this. I don't know. The final landing. Hopefully they land the plane, figuratively and literally. Blake and Ryan are con artists. They have had a method to steal movies. I feel like this whole thing has been such a, like, we are in such a messy times when it comes to like movies. Like the Oscar season, this whole drama, it's crazy. Like I feel like you can definitely take a side, and by the end of it, you'll have like a worse image of everyone involved. It's definitely like not a like clear like victim whatever thing. I think it is a bit more nuanced, but I actually haven't properly looked at it enough to know. Kevin also calls me up for No Heart for Broken Rage. I don't heart movies on Letterboxd, by the way. Which I guess before we move on to the next trailer, I actually do want to show you, if for those who maybe are just tuning in later on and didn't see that in the description of the live stream here. Actually, I do have to grab it from the own description of the thing, because I don't have it ready here. Hold up. There's a companion list over on the Quiet on Set channel, which you should definitely follow over on Letterboxd, where, for example, like the ones that I mentioned as new productions, as many as they were, unless they were like older ones that are like the remakes, you can go and, well, Coyote vs. Acme is not being made, and like Golden is also being like scrapped. But you know, the death of Robin Hood, for example, the one from the director of A Quiet Place and Pig, starring Hugh Jackman and Jodie Comer, like you can go and watch list that. I'll do that on my personal channel, but you'll find all of these as long as they are already on Netflix, and I will round this out a bit more. And you can go back to the live stream, and we have that. I'll shout it out every time because Lachlan puts a ton of work into it. For example, this will release later today when we update it for all the movies we brought up during episode 222 of the podcast. But let's get back to watching some trailers. And next up, we do have Jurassic World Rebirth, which I gotta say, that first trailer didn't look too intriguing to me. It was a lot of like the comedy of, you say a line, I repeat back the line, and we're like, and I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan of that sort of writing. But let's have a look at this next one, which I've been told that it's basically just like a shorter version of that initial trailer that they've already released. Let's have a look.
He's your guy?
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
We avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
This island was the research facility for the original Jurassic Park.
I feel like going back to like yet another island that, yo, this island this time around has like dinosaurs in this one are like actually scary. Like, forget about the last ones. This is a scary island, and they've been doing that like 7 times or something like that. I don't know if like this one grabs me. Ultimately, you're there for the showcase of the dinosaurs, but I don't know, the spectacle isn't there. And I know a lot of people are excited because it's Gareth Edwards. I always mix those two up. Who's directing it? But when he did when he did Godzilla, he was like on those projects way earlier when he got like the scale right for, like, you know, you would kind of see, oh, for Jurassic World, that makes a ton of sense to have him in there. But if he has like comes in just to direct and basically for his name to kind of, you know, because he's kind of built up a good rapport with people who expect that sort of like his sort of filmmaking, I don't know how much he can bring to this when, like, you know, the shitty dialogue is already there. He can't really fix that. But we'll have to wait and see. They fast-tracked this movie so much. Like, they want to get it done.
The worst of the worst?
Like, Rebirth can't come out, like, they can't be rebirthed sooner than... I don't know. A new era! It doesn't feel distinct enough from the different ones to justify calling it Rebirth.
Survival is a long shot.
What the hell are those?
Nah, I give that trailer like, again, there's like the link to the other trailer that's already out. I'd give that trailer like a C. C tier. And this was one for Mission Impossible. It was this shorter one was like a B tier as well. I think the initial trailer that I put out was like an A tier. Like, it got me really hyped. If we want to give a rating to these. All right, the Thunderbolts trailer, they have the whole trailer in here, so let's have a look. I'm not convinced by Thunderbolts. I know some people are like, when it comes to the upcoming MCU releases with Brave New World, they're like, poopy, stinky butthole, reshoots, not gonna be good. Then with Fantastic Four, they're like, oh, please give us a good one. And with Thunderbolts, oh, guys, it actually looks fun. You know, it actually kind of looks fun. And I've just not been convinced by any of them so far. So let's see if this next Thunderbolts trailer gets me a bit more excited for some of the upcoming MCU films. All 3 of them are like coming out in like the next 4 or 5 months, which is crazy. Right.
Let's talk facts. The Avengers are not coming.
Do not come.
Who will keep the American
What?
people safe?
Holy shit. The Shadow Man.
There's some big threat out there, and you are gonna help me stop it.
Wait, us?
Yeah, you. Why, you got someplace to be?
I love that guy.
All right. So the premise is like Bucky is basically kidnapping them to form like some kind of Suicide Squad. Like I don't know, something along those lines.
Comply?
Like to
So we'll just
oversimplify.
punch and shoot? I can't think of a worse group of people trying to work together.
I also think that Julia Louis-Dreyfus' character hasn't been interesting so far in the MCU, but she's popped up in a bunch of stuff. But she's like, I don't know why she's there. She's like always there, but like I don't know.
John, stop!
Where
Where are you?
Everyone here has done bad things. You can't escape.
It's also again like very gray and dull.
Mind is somewhere else.
I don't know.
So you can do something about it now, or live with it forever.
This could get messy.
No shit. You thought you were gonna be some great saviors?
What?
Save yourself.
Is that Rami Malek? Sounds like Rami
I can't
Malek.
do this. No one here is a hero.
Lena, when I look at you, I don't see your mistakes. That's why we need each other.
Okay.
Okay, that was really good.
We are the Thunderbolts! Can't call ourselves that.
God, thank you.
I feel like there's definitely like theories out there of what the team is actually called, and I feel like comic nerds will definitely have an idea of what they could be. I haven't kept up with that if there's like some intriguing teams, but I mean the movie needs to stand by like on its own to be decent. They need to get the dynamic right, and this is such a thing, like a thing that you can't really show well in a trailer, because it can moment to moment very much be different. If like, you know, a certain comedic tone just doesn't hit, maybe it's for one joke but not for 7 if they're back to back. So I don't know. I'm still I have reservations, not for tickets but for the quality.
That can rise to glory. Bring light from the darkness. This team can be the heroes on the waiting spots. With a little giddy toy.
All right, so I think out of the 3 MCU films, I'm not particularly excited for any of them, but I feel like this one does look, I do have to say, the most intriguing. It seems to be the one that's like the easiest to nail, because the period aesthetics of Fantastic Four, like that trailer didn't sell me 100%. I feel like here it's just, if they work together, that's fine.
When I'm dead.
I'd like not to die today, so maybe somebody else should be driving.
Okay, I feel like this is I'm a bit more positive on the film. I think this trailer was decent. Then Novocaine, no, F1 first. All right, they haven't really shown us much of like the story other than like a 30-second just like racing clip, which also just had like, man, I'll just shut up. I love how they always just hard cut to the F1 logo. I think this is a shot up to like one of my most anticipated films of the year. It's like, it looks so fun. And I wasn't even as much of like, obviously Top Gun Maverick was even more liked in the States and like one of the best movies of the year. I didn't have it up there. I think it was really solid. Didn't like love it as much as everyone else did. This, I don't even care about cars, man. I don't even drive. But this looks so good. This looks so good. It looks so clean, man. It looks really good. All right. All right, let's have a look at Novocaine. Oh, okay, they're addressing us.
We're the cast of Novocaine.
You better
Please.
see our movie.
Yeah.
just a regular guy, but I've got this condition. I can't feel pain.
You're a superhero.
Oh, yeah.
Is this such the same trailer or this is a new trailer?
These guys took the girl I love.
No, okay, so
I won't stop till I get her back.
You're okay, you're okay.
it's definitely a faster cut trailer than the first one. All right.
Hey, there we go. I'll see you later. You know, if I don't die.
Novocaine? It is you! I thought you'd be dead by now.
Come on. Well, I'm not.
It's fucking Novocaine! And he's not fucking dead!
Yeah, for this one, I do feel like if it gets the comedy right, it can have so many like already. They showed already a couple of like fun clips in the first trailer, and I do have to say that Jack Wade can just like kind of play this slightly douchey, above it all, but still kind of a loser character like so well that this might be a really fun movie. All right, next up we got the How to Train Your Dragon live action remake, which I just like. Mainly on this, the big question is why. And the answer is money, of course, but
First to ride one, though.
All right, bud, you ready?
it is. They got the music, you know. They do have the music. The music is so good.
How to Train Your Dragon, rated PG.
All right, sure. No, please stop the music. All right, so we got Rihanna as Smurfette, and I don't know if I'm sold, but she's sold. So let's have a look at. Oh, she sold millions of records. Okay. All right, they're selling it through Rihanna.
Good and blue.
This July.
Smurf Village isn't safe anymore.
To save
What?
the world,
We gotta rescue Papa.
they must come to ours.
I think I just smurfed my pants.
Sorry about the mess. I have a weakness for guacamole. And yes, I doubled.
Is that that's Nick Offerman, right? Alright, yeah, there's another trailer online. We won't be checking that one out. And then lastly, there was this Lilo and Stitch stunt that they did.
Breaking development. There's something down on the field.
I see that too. What is that?
Looks like a
I do have to say, it is suspicious that they have not dropped a single trailer that wasn't just like Stitch running around somewhere in like a sandcastle or just like on a white background. Show us parts of the movie, man. Cowards.
or a dog or a
This is a weird promotional campaign so far.
They've got trash cans.
This guy's got no chance.
I think they got it. Nope.
Now he's gone and driving a cart. Uh-oh, watch out for the goal. Oh. Oh, that thing is indestructible.
May 2030. You know, he's always in the liminal space here. Well, if I look at all of these trailers, I think the Mission Impossible one was by far the best. No, never mind. The F1, then Mission Impossible, then the one for Novocaine, then Thunderbolts, then How to Train Your Dragon, Lilo and Stitch, Smurfs, and at the bottom we got Jurassic World Rebirth. I'm just not sold on that movie. But yeah, all right, that's pretty much it, unless there's something else that is like you got burning questions for me that you need me to answer. Other than that, go give the podcast a watch next week again. Be on the lookout for Broken Rage, and if you're interested in that, the latest MCU film with Captain America Brave New World. What else can I recommend? If you are in Switzerland, definitely come by to the event here at Riff Raff Houdini. Again, we'd love to have you. And what else? Who has long legs? Let me know what you think of White Lotus season 3. I'm quite looking forward to that. But that's pretty much it. Nothing else to discuss. So again, subscribe if you're here for the first time. Leave a like, share it, and go check out the podcast reviews. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you next time. But I gotta listen to some tunes of Balatro, so please leave me alone now. Go watch some different stuff. I have to listen to a bit of Balatro to chill out, because it was a busy day. I hope everyone's been having a good day. Do something kind to yourself and to someone else, or for someone else, and I'll see you soon. All right, have a good one. Bye, everyone.